This is Mr. Eugene, and today we're talking about the unspoken contract at the heart of every marriage. The agreement nobody writes down, but every man understands implicitly. The deal that built civilization, sustained families for generations, and gave both men and women what they needed to thrive. Here's the contract in its simplest form. He provides resources, protection, stability, and commitment, and she provides loyalty, respect, domestic peace, intimacy, and support. It's not complicated. It's not unfair. It's actually elegant in its simplicity. Both parties bring value. Both parties receive value. Both parties have clear roles and responsibilities. When both uphold their end, the marriage works. The family thrives. Everyone wins. But here's what's happening in modern marriage. Most men are holding up their end completely, fully, beyond what's even required. Working longer hours, earning more, providing better lifestyle, staying committed despite difficulty, remaining loyal despite temptation, and most wives are violating their end daily, systematically, without consequence, while still demanding his full performance, while still expecting everything the contract promised her, while giving him almost nothing the contract promised him. The contract is broken, but only one side is paying the price, and that asymmetry is destroying marriages at scale. Stay with me. This is the framework that explains everything wrong with modern marriage. The contract, what was actually agreed, let me lay out the traditional marriage contract explicitly, because modern culture has tried to erase it, pretend it never existed, claim it was oppression, but it was real, it worked, and abandoning it has created the disaster we're living in now. His side of the contract, provision. He works, earns money, provides resources that create lifestyle, security, opportunity, not just survival resources, enough to elevate her and the family beyond bare minimum, enough to build wealth, create stability, enable growth. This isn't small. This is dedicating the majority of his waking life to labor that benefits her and the children. 40, 50, 60 hours weekly for decades, trading his time, his energy, his prime years for money that largely gets spent on others. Protection. He shields her from threats, physical threats, financial threats, social threats. He handles the dangerous, difficult, stressful elements of life so she doesn't have to. He's the first line of defense when something goes wrong, the person who steps forward when there's danger or difficulty. This includes absorbing stress she doesn't have to deal with, taking on burdens she's protected from, facing consequences she's shielded from, being the barrier between her and the harsh realities of the world. Leadership. He makes difficult decisions, sets direction for the family, takes responsibility for outcomes, handles logistics, planning, strategy, ensures the family unit is moving forward, building toward something, not just drifting. This means carrying the mental load of long-term planning, of seeing problems before they arrive, of making choices that might be unpopular but necessary, of being accountable when things go wrong. Commitment. He stays through difficulty, through her changing, through aging, through stress, through challenges. He doesn't bail when things get hard. He doesn't trade her in when someone younger and easier appears. He committed, and he honors that commitment. This is not nothing. Men have options, particularly successful men. They're choosing to stay committed to one woman despite having alternatives. That's valuable. That's sacrifice. Her side of the contract, loyalty. She's faithful, sexually faithful, emotionally faithful. She doesn't entertain other men, doesn't maintain backup options, doesn't keep exes around as friends, doesn't seek validation and attention from men outside the marriage. Her loyalty is complete and exclusive. This means closing doors to other possibilities, choosing him consistently, making him feel secure that her commitment is real and permanent, that he's not competing with other men for her attention or affection. Respect. She honors him, speaks well of him to others, supports his leadership, doesn't undermine him publicly or privately, treats his opinions as valuable, values his perspective, makes him feel respected as a man and as the leader of the family. This includes not mocking him, not dismissing him, not treating his concerns as irrelevant, showing him the same respect she demands from him, recognizing his efforts and sacrifices instead of taking them for granted. Domestic peace. She creates a home that's a refuge, calm instead of chaotic, peaceful instead of conflict-filled, supportive instead of draining. He can come home and recharge instead of coming home to more stress. This means managing her emotions instead of exporting them as his problem, not creating drama unnecessarily, not picking fights over nothing, not making the home environment hostile or tense, being someone who adds peace to his life instead of chaos. Intimacy. She maintains physical intimacy consistently, not as reward or transaction, not withheld as punishment or leverage, but as regular, genuine expression of desire and connection, because physical intimacy is how men experience emotional intimacy. It's not optional, it's foundational. This means not letting months go by without physical connection, not treating intimacy as a chore, not making him beg for basic physical affection, understanding that this is a core need, not a luxury want. Support. She's in his corner. When he's struggling, she supports him. When he's building something, she encourages him. When he makes decisions, she backs him even if she'd choose differently. She's his partner, not his critic. This means not tearing him down when he's already down, not adding to his stress when he's overwhelmed, not questioning his capability when he needs confidence, being the person who believes in him when he's doubting himself. The current reality, how the contract is being violated. Now let me show you what's actually happening in modern marriages. How men are upholding their end completely while women violate theirs. Daily, his performance, complete fulfillment. He's working 40, 50, 60-hour weeks, earning good income, providing lifestyle she enjoys, house she's comfortable in, cars that are reliable, vacations, lifestyle upgrades, financial security. He's not just meeting minimum, he's exceeding it, working extra to provide more, taking on additional stress to earn more, sacrificing personal time to ensure the family has resources. He's handling all the difficult, stressful logistics, bills paid, investments managed, major decisions made, problems solved, burdens carried. She's protected from most of the harsh realities of managing adult life because he's handling them. He's committed despite her changing, despite her gaining weight, despite her becoming difficult, despite her treating him poorly, despite having options. He stays. He honors his commitment. He doesn't leave when it gets hard. By any objective measure, he's fulfilling his side completely, often beyond what was even agreed. Her performance, systematic violation, loyalty, questionable. She maintains emotional connections with exes, keeps male friends who are clearly interested in more, seeks validation from other men through social media, entertains attention from men at work, at the gym, online. She's not physically cheating, but she's maintaining options. She's keeping doors open. Respect absent. She disrespects him regularly, mocks him to friends, undermines his decisions, dismisses his opinions, treats his concerns as stupid, talks down to him, makes him feel small. Domestic peace destroyed. The home isn't a refuge, it's a battlefield. She creates drama over small things, picks fights unnecessarily, creates emotional chaos he has to manage, makes his home environment stressful instead of peaceful, intimacy withheld, once a month if he's lucky. She treats sex as a chore, makes him feel like he's imposing, uses intimacy as leverage, withholds when she's upset. Support, replaced with criticism. When he's struggling, she adds to it. When he's building something, she questions it. When he makes decisions, she undermines them. The asymmetry, why this is so destructive. Here's what makes this pattern so devastating. The contract violation is one-sided. He's performing fully, she's violating systematically, but both still expect the deal to hold. He still has to perform. Even though she's violating her end, he's still expected to provide, protect, lead, commit. If he fails, consequences are immediate. She still expects full benefits, the lifestyle, the security, the commitment, despite not upholding her side, and there are no consequences for her violations. If he violates, punishment is severe. If she violates, nothing happens. This asymmetry is unsustainable. Real examples. The contract violation in action. Example 1, the provision and respect exchange. He works 60-hour weeks, provides a comfortable life. In return, he gets complaints, disrespect, and stress instead of support. Example 2, the commitment and loyalty exchange. He stays loyal. Despite challenges, she maintains attention from other men and keeps options open. Example 3, the protection and intimacy exchange. He handles all stress and responsibility. She withholds intimacy and makes him feel guilty for wanting connection. Why women feel justified violating the contract. They'll say the contract is outdated, but only for themselves, not for him. They'll say they work too, but the balance is rarely equal. They'll say he should do it because he loves them, but that logic doesn't apply in reverse. They'll say they don't feel like it, and their feelings become the justification for everything. What this creates, the slow death of marriage, his resentment builds quietly over time. He eventually stops trying, withdraws emotionally, or leaves entirely. The marriage becomes transactional in the worst way, with him providing under obligation while she contributes little. What needs to change for women, honor your end. If you want his performance, you must give what was promised in return. For men, stop overperforming in the face of constant violation. Match effort with effort. For society, stop enforcing male obligations while excusing female ones. Final thoughts. The silent agreement at the heart of marriage is simple. He brings provision, protection, leadership, commitment. She brings loyalty, respect, peace, intimacy, support. When both give, both win. When one gives and the other takes, everything collapses. The contract isn't oppression, it was structure. It worked because it balanced needs. Breaking it has created imbalance, resentment, and collapse. Drop a comment. Men, are you performing fully while she violates? Women, are you honoring your end or just demanding his? Subscribe for the frameworks that explain why modern marriage is failing and what actually worked.